She represents the 23rd District, 23A, the Maryland House of Delegates, which includes Bowie, Mitchellville, Lanham, Seabrook, Glendale, and Southern Laurel. From 1995 to 2009, she is an attorney and has served from 2002 to 2009 as Assistant Director of the Legislative Department at the AFL-CIO, a federation of over 50 national and international labor organizations. She lobbied the U.S. Congress, Senate, and the executive branch on national policy affecting fair wages and working conditions, health care, pensions, immigration, and workplace safety and health. Some of her House of Delegates' key initiatives and accomplishments have been the truancy and driver's license law in 2007, the Prince George's truancy court law in 2008, the Advanced Math Initiative, where she secured $1.1 million in a grant for the school system in 2009. To restore respected school is another initiative with over 25 stakeholders from Prince George's County, Washington, D.C., and Baltimore involved. That was also in 2009. The law to set up a statewide task force on prisoner reentry policies, prisoner reentry employment and occupational licenses law, and over 36 bills introduced. Of the 36 bills that she introduced, 19 have become state law. Delegate Levi is a key supporter of major statewide laws on the gangs, domestic violence, labor, economic development, small minority businesses, environment, housing, and health care. Some of her economic development initiatives have included that she's a key supporter on transit-oriented development, a key supporter of BRAC revitalization zones and military bases, supported tax credits for business incubators, arts and entertainment districts, distressed counties, and for job creation. Key supporter on raising the cap on net worth for minority business enterprises and other strong support for small and minority business enterprises. A key supporter of legislation for women-owned businesses, and a key supporter of requiring minority investment firms to handle the state pension funds. She supported extending the Small Business Reserve Program and was a key supporter in repealing the computer tax of 2008. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you all Delegate Jerron Levi.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be with you here this morning. I thought, since Rhonda mentioned it, I thought perhaps I would start by highlighting, giving a few highlights of the legislative session this year. As many of you know, we started the year, we have about a $32 billion budget in the state. We started the year with a $2 billion gap. The impact of the state budget here on our local jurisdiction, of course, is very significant. I'll tell you that about 40% of the state's operating budget flows to the 24 local jurisdictions, and Prince George's County gets the second largest share in the state, about $1.071 billion if you count everything. So the impact and the condition of the state budget really is a big issue in some of the budget issues we face here at the local level. So we were able to balance the budget, cut about $525 million from spending for this next fiscal year, cut about $1 billion from the projected structural deficit in 2012. So we made some great strides ahead, as well as maintain the commitment to education, specifically K through 12 education and higher education. So although we have some significant challenges at the state level facing us with a structural deficit, I heard one budget analyst say that in order to cure the structural deficit at the state, the state's economy would have to grow by 24% next year. So that is how serious it is. So anyway, those challenges remain, as well as here at the local level. We have in Prince George's County about a $2.6 billion budget, and they started that budget year with an $85 million gap. So the budget issues certainly loom over many of the decisions we're making at the state and local level. In terms of, I'll hit a few of the highlights of the session. Of course, I had some highlights. The governor last year signed a big gang prosecution law that I was able to get through the legislative session this year. And essentially that bill targets gang-related crime, crimes committed to strengthen criminal gangs in association with the gang, to benefit the gang. And so this bill would lengthen sentences for those types of crime. It also enacts for the first time a gang kingpin statute, again, penalizing those who manage, supervise, and finance criminal gangs. So it's a real blow at the criminal gang enterprises in the state. We have about 11 national gangs present here in the state. You know, the MS-13, Bloods, Crips, and the like, and about 85 neighborhood crews. We've seen about a 20% increase in gang-related activity on the ground since 2004. Mainly recruitment, initiations, just the building of their ranks on the ground. So before we see that really manifest itself in a new round of violence, I think it's important that we get out and ahead and in front of those issues. Prosecutors and law enforcement had come to the legislature and said that our current statute was insufficient, and so we were able to strengthen the statute this year. 20 community organizations from Baltimore and Prince George's County, where 75% of the homicides in the state occur, also wrote and lobbied in support of that particular statute. We also had some significant gains on sex offenders, enacting lifetime supervision or longer supervision of sex offenders after their release. We had some very high-profile cases on sex offenses, and that highlighted some defects in our state law. So we enacted a series of changes, among them lifetime supervision, and also a strengthening of our diminution credits under law. Essentially, offenders who are serving the sentence that is announced at sentencing is frequently not the sentence that is served, and that is as a result of credits that are accumulated over the time of the prison sentence that reduce the overall total that is actually served. So we were able to strengthen those credits that can be eliminated, those credits that can reduce the sentence. So that was a very important step forward. In terms of stimulating the economy, we enacted a number of important provisions. A job creation recovery tax credit that offers $5,000 tax credit to any Maryland business that hires an unemployed Maryland. That was an extensive, significant step forward. Increasing the biotech tax credit, supporting more stem cell research. $10.4 million is in the state budget on behalf of that. Creating a small business loan guarantee program. Providing property tax relief for small businesses so that they can pay their property taxes in installments as opposed to in one lump sum. And also creating a sustainable communities tax credit to promote investment and jobs in sustainable communities. And also working with the business community to modify the changes to the unemployment insurance program that we passed last year. Not everyone was happy with what was done in the prior session, so the governor, as well as the business community, crafted a compromise that allows payments under the unemployment insurance program to be spread out over installments. I think it was an important compromise, and one that the business community also supported as well.